when you come to radio, it's so cost effective, so affordable, and so penetrated. It goes to the areas you never even thought your messages could get to. That's the beauty of putting your content on radio. Apart from the fact that it is cheaper.
And also, even to have a radio, having the set, whether there is power or there is no power, there are a whole lot of radio sets now,
Oh my
radios
God.
on the mobile
Even
phone.
your is a radio set.
Back to the days of Palito radio. Even as students in secondary school, there's this little Palito radio. Just plug the end. It's during
That's
break
small.
time.
That's small.
Black color Palito. It's called
If
Palito
you
radio.
know how many of those brands I bought that time,
Transistor
like
radio.
on every week you buy. How much are we buying it? 300 naira.
300 naira.
300 naira.
Coming with an earpiece, you just plug the earpiece, and during break time, you see students under trees.
And it's so digitized. It's so so strong, signal strong, and sweet to handle. That's the beauty of radio. You can carry it, you put it in your pocket.
Put it in the pocket, and it's just very portable.
Oh my God!
Even in the hospitals, by the hospital bed, you see some people receiving treatment and they have their radio beside them because that is the only means to get information. In fact, some people believe that they are not alone. As much as they have their radio set beside them, they are not alone. They have people already. They are already surrounded by people.
Yeah.
Using the radio.
Of course, another reason we love radio is engagement. There is deeper engagement with the listener, and able to be part of what you are doing. It's
implications of the new CBN policy on ATM transaction fees, the automated teller, the ATM cards, and the new policy been introduced by the Central Bank of Nigeria. And in years back, banking operation or transaction was an easy process of walk in to deposit or withdraw with less congestion or time consuming process via passbook or checkbook. And now in recent time, the complexity of human demand and business transaction informed the influx of customers in and out of banking halls, which in one hand requires either the need of additional hands or stretching the services of available. Today, as we have it, banking has developed into an era of menu-driven, ultra-robust, specialized software programs called banking applications. To reduce the stress of transaction, automated machine ATM was introduced, and it is the first well-known machine to provide electronic access to customers. With the advent of ATM, banks are able to serve customers outside the banking hall. The ATM is designed to perform the most important function of banks, such as withdrawal of cash, deposit, printing of mini statements, settlement of bills. It does all through an access to personal identification number PIN and a plastic that contains magnetic chip, which the customer is identified through without any charges in the process of transaction. The plastic card called the ATM card. Now, this month of February 2025, CBN raises concerns on ATM withdrawals for bank customers and eliminating free interbank withdrawals and introducing charges of up to 600 naira per 20,000 withdrawals, which will be effective from March 1st, 2025. In a circular signed by the Acting Director of Financial Policy and Regulation Department, John Onoja, the Apex Bank attributed the upward review of fees to rising operational costs and the need to improve service efficiency in Nigeria's banking sector. Under the updated framework, bank customers with withdrawing cash from an ATM operated by its own bank, which is commonly referred to as on pulse transactions, will continue to enjoy free withdrawals. This means that customers using ATM are going to that bank wouldn't be charged as not on all withdrawing cash from an ATM located with a bank premises but operated by different financial institutions will be charged a fee of 100 per 20,000 naira withdrawal. Our concern on today's edition this morning, as it concerns every Nigerian, as it concerns every banker, everyone that uses bank, everyone that has bank account, everyone gets cash, we go to the ATM or point of sale, the POS with the ATM card. So it concerns virtually every Nigerian. So far, the person is above.
To have the bank accounts.
Or for some people who have like 5 different accounts with 5 different years.
No money even transacted. Anyway, the Nigerian story is a very interesting one. And this morning we have someone who on the board. So, when this policy was announced, a lot of people received it with mixed feelings, and we understand why. Even though the policymakers said they have their reasons and they want ATMs to be everywhere. Well, are Nigerians supposed to be happy about this? What's the reasons for this policy from the next bank?
Well, thank you. Intricacies in the Nigerian economy, which has divided global policy solutions. You see, in our policies that we are making, there's nothing wrong about the policies. But the problem is that there are certain riddles within the economy that people cannot really understand. For example, the cost of production. You see, when you are reading, you mentioned the issue of operational costs. Actually, the operational cost has gone up because of so many factors in the economy. As a result of that, there are some other inconveniences again. For example, if you now use your ATM in another bank, most of the time the transaction failed or the transaction becomes complicated and you have to wait for maybe 7 days or so days before the thing is rectified, if it is rectified at all. And that accounts for the fact that if you go to any customers service unit of any bank, you see people fully jam-packed. I think these are some of the reasons why it has come on board. One, to cover the operational cost that has been on the increase, that's number one. Number two, to reduce the avalanche of customers in the customers service unit, trying to resolve one issue or the other. I think that is why the bank has now is now discouraging people that if you want to use your ATM favorably, you use the ATM in that particular bank so that it will minimize the use of complications arising from these electronic failures and so uh, as a result of inadequacies and inefficiencies in the system itself. Maybe that is one of the basic things, and that is why they are now charging 100 naira plus. They say certain percentages up to 500 naira. So automatically, the implication in that is that it will reduce your purchasing power. That's the first thing. Because if you want to get 10,000 naira, and out of the 10,000 naira that you are getting, the charges uh, are getting up to almost 1,000, meaning that you are left with only 9,000. That is one of the things. I think another objective why they are doing this is to encourage electronic transfer, maybe from your mobile set and so electronic settlements of bills. Because if you can do it on your set, there will be no need for you to go to your ATM, like settlement of payments here and there. Let's say I'm owing you about 5,000 naira. I can easily transfer from my set. So they are trying to encourage that. But in our own economy, where in most cases the the systems are not working perfectly, it may not, the benefits, the objective of the benefits may not be achieved. And the issue of cashless economy that we are trying to advocate, we still need to put a lot of things in place before we can actually achieve that. The totality of everything is that you are trying to solve a problem and you are creating a mirage of problems. So how do we now reconcile and resolve? That is the main thing. And then the effect of any policy in any economy is to make life easy for the people.
Yeah.
So these are the areas where we need to come down and reconcile. You see, the only thing that the thing that has to be put in place is to stem the high cost of production in this country. And if you want to stem that, there are two issues. Number one, the issue of energy, whether the electricity or any other thing that we are talking about must be reduced. Energy through electricity, energy through maybe the use of generator and so. It has to come down drastically. So if they come, the operational cost, production cost will come down, and then the total 34 to about 15 can be achieved. But without addressing that, nothing can be achieved. The other one is the issue of insecurity. You should also address the issue of insecurity. So government is trying its best possible to do that, but they still need to do more. So let me
Okay.
go now.
Bank of Nigeria on ATM transactions in the country. How it affect every one of us.
Now we still have as guest this morning Mr. Samson Debo, who is a fellow of the Nigerian Institute of Management and also a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria. And we have been looking at this particular issue that concerns most Nigerians at the moment. Now, looking at it, do Nigerians need this new policy at this particular time? Now, we're talking about the proposed increase in power tariff and also on telecommunications. Now we are having this on TBM new policy. Do we really need this at this particular time, sir?
Actually, we may say we don't need it, but it's a compelling thing on us as a result of so many things that I've enumerated. Operational cost has increased, and they have to recover their costs. There is an avalanche of complainants at the customers unit of every bank. How do we resolve that? Again, we want to encourage people to use their electronic means of settling issues, financial issues. These are the objectives. So it's a compelling thing that has to be done. But other things must be put in place, like the ones I've mentioned earlier. How do we stem the rising operational costs within the banking industry and within other industries so that the operational costs will come down in order to really ease the effect of what we are talking about?
Okay.
If the operational costs should come down, there will be no need for this increase that we are talking about. You see, it's a cost recovery measure that is being adopted for now. Otherwise, if it does not come in place, the other issues that we are talking about to solve will not be solved. So I am not saying I'm for it, but I'm only trying to be objective that it is a compelling issue. Let me say it's a man-made thing that has to be imposed on us. That's the way I look at it.
Operational costs are understandable. And you have mentioned some of the things that can be done to even help that factor: power, security, and the rest of that. But this, if you look at the impact of this, now let's start from the most recent move we had from the CBN. It was that if you sent any money above 10,000 naira, 15 naira is deducted. And we took it. We smiled. Now, this one also came. Now, let's not leave the banking sector. Let's go to every sector that has been important to us. Every sector. Power that you mentioned. Even water. Anyone who gives you power, who gives you water, go to their industry. They're also telling Nigerians now that you have to pay more. Go to anything at all that is called a utility, that they are providing a service. They are telling you now you have to pay more. Now you have to pay more. This is like the second or third time the banking industry is telling us we have to pay something extra from what we used to pay. NLC is still fighting what telecoms are talking about concerning tariff hike in their sector. We have not even resolved that. Now it's like everything is coming back to the ordinary Nigerian. How do we, of course, you mentioned operational costs, we understand that, but how far can Nigerians bear all this?
If something drastic is not done, the Nigerians will exceed their elastic points. Because don't let us deceive ourselves. There is pain in the economy. There is pain in the economy. So, like I said earlier, the totality of what we are talking about, number one, you need to address the issue of these PMAs that we are talking about. Subsidy, I am for it totally. Other areas that are becoming effective, if subsidy has been removed, what happens to the 445,000 barrels of crude oil that is said to be allocated to the 4 refineries in the economy? Where does it go? In a barrel of crude oil, you will get 159 liters of PMS.
Mm.
If you multiply that, that will give you about almost 70 million liters of PMS per day in this country. Where does it go? Aside that, Dangote is capable of producing 100 million liters of PMS alone, aside other derivatives. Where do they go? That's the problem. If you are able to address that area, a lot of leakages have been addressed, a lot of round tripping and so on and so has been addressed. Why are we still saying we are importing refined PMS in this country? So these are the areas we have to address. That's number one. Number two, we are talking of the issue of dollar. Why should a dollar be equivalent to 1,500 naira in this economy today? We are earning more dollar. How does the dollar get into the hands of the parallel markets? Because I agree with the president's policy that dualization of exchange rates is abolished. It is good for the economy. But where does the dollar we are earning, how does it get out of this banking system? These are the areas that needed to be addressed. If all these areas are addressed, I'm very sure the cost of production in this economy will come down drastically. Then the other area that we are talking, yes, let me now if we are able to produce that number of PMS per day, we are consuming maybe about 40 million liters. We can sell the excess to the neighboring African countries, and then we denominate it in naira, and that will enhance the value of the naira. And I have always been submitting anywhere, and I still need to be controverted that dollar has been overvalued domestically. How can you tell me that a dollar is equivalent to 1,500 naira? In America, I've never been there, but people are saying it. You cannot have a good breakfast for $1. But in Nigeria, if you have your 1,500, you can have a comfortable meal. How do you now tell me, how do you convince me that domestically a dollar has not been overvalued? So these are you see, all these issues that we are talking about are intricacies in the Nigerian economy. You see, at times when I think about the Nigerian problem, I look at it from this angle. Why is it that the policies that are possible in the advanced countries of the world are not possible in this country? Why are those things that are impossible here are possible in other areas? President Tinubu is a good leader. He's trying his best possible. But I believe we still have a sort of what we call leadership problem. You see, I believe that if there are problems and the problems remain unsolved, the problems become the leader and the leader becomes the problem. That has been my principle. That means that the president needs to do more, especially on those people that actually surrounds him. President Asiwaju that I know is very courageous. President Asiwaju that I know can monitor you from his table if he gives you an assignment. President Asiwaju that I know is very dogged. President Asiwaju that I know is always very, very objective. I want him to spread his tentacles around his people. Luckily for us, I think he said, maybe coming from Wednesday, is coming what do you call it? Is it so somebody commissioners? What do they call it? The ministers will now come. His cabinet will now come on here to give the account of their state worship. I think that's the way out.
What they're doing.
But when they now come, Nigerians can now engage them. They'll be able to give us why certain things are not in place.
Mr. Debo, if I should pick on some of the things you have said now, we won't leave this place today. And of course, you have said so much, and there are so many questions that we should also ask you. But let's hold the thought for now, and let's open the lines for the listener at home to also, express an opinion, maybe ask one or two questions before we leave the program this morning. 0803-437-9453 and 0815-032-0226. You have these two lines to yourselves for you to be able to call in and be part of the program this morning. 0803-437-9453.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Everybody's something today. Welcome, sir. Yeah. Thank you very much, Mr. Bao. Mr. Bao has actually, said again that the problems are still there. The problems are still there. When we talk about failed transactions, complicated transactions, they are still there. Sometimes you have a ATM machine around you want to use, and you are not even able to use.
Because there are no cash in the machine.
Even when the machine is the bank's, your own bank's ATM, you still have issues, And that is not resolved, and yet we're being rerouted to certain quarters and with more charges at that. 0803-437-9453 and 0815-032-0226. We have another caller here. Good morning. Welcome on board, sir.
Good morning, Debo.
Welcome, sir.
Thank
you, sir.
Good morning, Chief Adebo.
So, baladum.
So, miliki. I'm very happy Chief Adebo is up to the task. He's not only an accountant, he's also a pressman. And he has all the
very much.
Thank you.
Nene is my name.
Yes.
0803-437-9453 and 0815-032-0226. Also, this morning you have the opportunity to watch us live on our YouTube and also on our Facebook page at Ogun Radio Abeokuta. You can drop your comments while we take them.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Debo.
Welcome, sir.
Morning.
I also greet our father there.
Welcome, sir.
We have very, very good theoretical aspects in Nigeria. We have everything that we need to have. We have human beings, the woman that can manage this country to defeat, for everybody to enjoy. Do you know what we lack?
Mm.
We lack fear of God.
Mm.
All aspects have failed God, and I'm talking to you now. Because when you get the percentage of people that are truly serving God, they are not more than, if they are up to 50%. In every theoretical aspect we are having, look at people that fear God there. They are 50. When they bring policies from America, they bring from India, bring from China, what says us all these policies is lack of fear of God. If us to fear God, they will preach against corruption in this country. If the policemen fear God, they will be perfect and strict in enforcement. If our judiciary fear God, they will not be dismissing cases on those mere accommodations or arguments. They say lack of jurisdiction because because of this one, what they supposed to give judgment, they will reverse it. Our government is great. When they were there, when they want to go there, they will give us series of English. When they get there, they will start enriching themselves. The issue of dollar tax, I think people going abroad. Look, I don't like what Trump has done. People, you cannot leave your country and come to our country to bastardize our economy. Where you come with your selfishness and if you want to employ somebody now, he will be begging you, he will be kneeling down for trading and employ him or her. They will not tell you, coming to work by 8 o'clock is affecting him or her. So we don't have fear of God. That is where I don't have much English to say.
What's your name, sir?
Sir,
What's your name?
I'm Adeyinka by name, sir.
Oh,
Elder Adeyinka from Milano.
thank you, Elder. We appreciate you so much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
The fear of God.
Yeah, a fear of God. I'm sorry, Debo, you have to wrap up.
That's okay. I think 3 or 4 people have commented. Let me, number one, Mr. Banwo, I think he alluded to what I've said. There's nothing much to say about that. Then, my brother Wale, Elder Wale Osheni, somebody is coming.
Just go ahead, sir.
Elder Wale Osheni, you see, the only thing we can do to solve that problem of the dollars also is complete abolition of the second-tier exchange bracket. But why the president today will abolish it totally and outrightly as second tier. It has been done before, and I don't know why it has to come again. We still do banks like we do in the past. Then there's one technical word that he used, said devaluation. No, it's not devaluation. Devaluation is a technical word which is even stronger than what is happening now. It's normally used for a purpose. I will say depreciation of the naira, not devaluation. It has not been devalued. It has been depreciated. So, like I said, you see, we have dollarized the economy. In the past, if a dollar, a foreign currency is a criminal offense in the passed. So, like I said, abolition of the second exchange rate
Exchange rate.
immediately.
Okay.
Elder Adeyemo, I agree with you. Without the fear of God, man becomes animal. That's the only thing. So a leader must have the fear of God. If you have fear of God, everything will be perfect. But one thing I want people to know is that if you're a leader and you are not performing your duties as expected to show the glory of God in you, you are going to account for it. You should know that. Here on earth and when you meet your creator.
Our time is fast spent. We want to thank our guest this morning, Emmanuel.
I want to sincerely appreciate our guest this morning, Chief Samson Debo, who is a fellow of the Nigerian Institute of Management and also a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria. And he has opened our eyes. He has been able to educate us this morning about the subject matter. I want to say a very big thank you for coming around to join us this morning. And we do hope that when we reach out to you at another time, you definitely come and join us on the program again. And also many thanks to our editors in the newsroom, Elizabeth Uforiji and Adebisi Musa. I've been the editors, not forgetting the studio manager this morning, Dotun Ibubu. Daniel Okechuku had been the man behind the ICT. This is a production of Abalara Adeshola. I am a